Oh, what is up everyone? I am Deviantart Cringe, and today we're going to be taking a little bit of a look at Foster Home for Imaginary Friends. Yes, everyone, you all remember that sweet little show that we all loved when we were kids. I decided to rewatch a few episodes recently, and it is about as good as I remember it. So I decided to go on DA and see how the fandom has been treating this awesome nostalgic little show, and the results were less than stellar, and you're gonna see why pretty soon, because we're gonna be starting this video off with Frankie Foster and a giant ass belly full of imaginary friends. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, can you believe this? When I first saw this, I thought it was vor, but it's actually pregnancy. Yeah, Frankie is pregnant with imaginary friends, ladies and gentlemen. And that belly button is absolutely horrifying, and this kind of makes it look like a giant ball sack. Now, honestly, I really don't know whether I should laugh or cry at this picture. It's funny since Frankie doesn't even look like what she's supposed to, and this is just absolutely saddening, you know? It seems like Frankie's kind of been getting a little bit funky with some of the friends in the old home. All I can say is, why the fuck is the belly glowing? Secondly, while the line work itself is actually pretty nice, the shading looks so damn blurry, it's unbelievable. And take a look over here, how it's cut off. Over here, the lighting is cut off. You know, maybe you should try to make a bigger canvas next time you try to ruin people's childhood memories, okay? And of course, you gotta have the huge-ass boobs that look like they're gonna explode, because why the fuck wouldn't you? Full of imaginary babies. I've always wanted to draw Frankie. Time to blame Mac. 1,000 times yes. Actually, how about 1,000 times no? Okay, take a look at this MS Paint. You know, it's kind of like a blast from the past, you know, from my original channel. Those MS Paints are gonna haunt our nightmares for all eternity. So what do we have here? Thankfully, not anything as horrible as that first one. Here we have Mac and Frankie as little kids, and over here then as adults. And I gotta say two things, okay? One, Mac's head looks, it's like, I know Mac's head was actually pretty big in the show, but I don't think it was that huge. You know, this is another reason why you should always try to improve as fast as you can to step away from MS Paint. Although I will say that the coloring really isn't all that bad. Like, definitely the red, I thought, you know, with MS Paint drawings, usually, like, the red is very eye-bleeding because it's super bright, but over here it's actually okay. I do think that you kind of, you really need to, like, work on trying to make your line work not as choppy. Basically, just try to use a different program other than MS Paint, because, you know, in MS Paint, no matter how hard you're trying to improve, you're always gonna get results like this. If they were young and old, okay, this is some AU where Frankie being Mac's only childhood friend and together as married adults. Unfortunately, I prefer Mac and Frankie's platonic relationship copyright. Yeah, okay, that's cool. Thankfully, this isn't one of those shippings where Mac is a kid and Frankie's an adult, because yeah, we don't want to see any of those now, do we? Aw, Frankie looks so cute as a young child. Okay, this is a little bit out there. Okay, so this is basically a fan art of that time where she was crazy about the cookies and got super fat. I will definitely say one thing, that face is the stuff of nightmares. She's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna eat that cookie, boy. And take a look at those legs and those thunder thighs. You know, this guy is a really huge fan of tight pants. I can already see that. And of course, you gotta have that belly sticking out, because why the hell wouldn't you? You know? You gotta have it nice and nice and flabby to stick your dick in that belly button, don't you? Now, honestly, this also really isn't too bad. The line work, I can see the line work on the legs is definitely pretty nice. Over here is a little bit, yeah. Now, a few bits of advice I could give you is definitely take your pictures, you know, take pictures of this in like a well-lit room so you can see everything, because right now it looks like way too dark, honestly. Secondly, really put huge priorities on making better faces, because this is just, no offense, but this is absolutely god-awful, you know, it's fucking scary, honestly. And of course, the coloring itself is okay by the looks of it, but I can't really judge it fully because, you know, it's too dark and all that. It looks okay from here, so, yeah, just try to make better faces, definitely, and, you know, take pictures in a well-lit room. So that's about it. Chubby Frankie Foster. Okay, everyone. Okay, now this is a little bit, this is exactly what I expected from DA. If people are into stuff like this, okay, but why the fuck do you gotta make it so, like, take a look at this, okay, and this. Doesn't it look like the flesh is just melting off? Seriously, like, really? And of course, if you take a look over here, we have her socks. Yeah, Frankie's socks, because, you know, not everyone is entirely into feet, you know, so you gotta please the sock people, you know, get those fetish boners nice and hard. And isn't it just so funny, like, Frankie's expression? She knows, okay? She knows that we are suffering because we are watching her melting flesh and all that. We are dying on the inside, and she is enjoying every fucking moment of it. And honestly, I have to say one thing: when people, you know, do fetish pictures of like this, that's like, if people are into this, then okay. But why would you do, you know, like stuff like this? Honestly, like this just makes it look so damn ugly. And it's not just this; it's like all of these like wrinkles here. They look so ugh. It basically makes it look like it's like an old person, you know. It's like not attractive at all, honestly. Oh, and by the way, if you were too horrified by seeing all of this, let me just tell you one little thing, okay? You ready for it? Over here, Frankie apparently has one titty. Yeah, single boob cleavage, you know. Apparently one of them got cut off somewhere. You know, just anatomical genius right here. Soul shots Frankie Foster. Oh yeah, soul shots, get it? Oh my god. I always said Frankie was worked off her feet. Now she's gonna work you off with her feet. Interested? Not really. Definitely one of Grey Delise's best roles in animation. That's a funny way to say wubsy. If she needs help from me, I won't deny her request. Role play. I think that's another one you should toss back into a tickle trap. You should draw a sock version. Oh yeah, like, you remember? You remember what I said, you know? You gotta have them in view to please the sock people, definitely. You know, I'm fucking psychic with these things, oh my god. So attractive and sexy. Oh my god, I was just talking about her feet. Sexy. Awesome job, man. Whoa, very nice this one. She looks just like the show, and those soles and scrunch came out great. Okay, I do gotta agree with she looks kinda like from the show, but those feet look so horrible. Oh my god. Oh, and hey, take a look at this one. This is a little bit of new art, and I can already see that it's a villainous reference. You know, I gotta say this actually does look pretty nice. You know, pretty well drawn. She actually does look she's from the show and all that. Hey, look, it's Dementia. Oh no, not again. Let me smell you. Let's take a selfie. And then she runs into a back alley away from the crowd, and take a look at that panty shot, everyone. Wow, she really looks tight in this one. Yeah. It's like it looks so tight that she was almost getting cut in half. And you know, like I said, it doesn't really look all that bad, honestly. There are a lot of, you know, good details on the building, you know, nice comic book style. So yeah, good job on this one. You know, the coloring is definitely pretty nice. Nice and vivid, but not too bright. The people in the background kind of look a little bit basic, as you can see, but you know, besides that, everything else is actually pretty nice looking. So good job on that. Hey, look, it's Dementia. Frankie Foster fosters some for imaginary friends. More version on my Patreon and Pixiv. That panty shot. Well, yeah, obviously people are gonna notice that. I mean, come the hell on. Guess Frankie's got sort of an imposter posing as her. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that about wraps it up for Foster Stone for Imaginary Friends. You know, it was kind of stupid of me for thinking that DA would treat it nicely, but, you know, there's always hope. Anyway, everyone, thank you all so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe and press the little bell icon. And as always, I'm Deviantart Cringe, and I'll be seeing you guys in the next video.